Let's learn middleware in Node.js and Express in less than 2 minutes. Middleware are just functions that run after the request comes into Express and before the response goes out. They allow us to handle requests sequentially in different stages. In Express, middleware are JavaScript functions that run when a request comes in and that have access to the request and response objects, as well as the next function that allows us to trigger the next middleware. In this case, this will be our last middleware, so we don't even need to use the next function. However, before we get to the final middleware, we can run additional middleware functions on this request. For example, we could log the info about the request in the first stage and then call the next function to go to the next middleware. In the second stage, we could do auth checks to make sure the user is a professor, and if they're not, throw an error. Otherwise, we will call next again and tell Express to execute the last middleware. But these middleware functions are currently only scoped to this specific getRequest_on/students route. Let's say we want to log request info for every single request that comes into our API. In Express, we can use the app.use method without specifying a route to run a middleware on each request. So just by moving this middleware function from this specific route to this global route will ensure this middleware function runs every time any request comes into our API. Global middleware is also very useful for general API setup, security, and performance. There are also many third-party middleware npm packages that you can use in your Express apps. One example is the Helmet npm library, which allows us to easily set up security rules of our API.